Looks like a single action, doesn't it? 45 Colt to be exact. You know how I like these kinds of firearms? Look at those big chambers. Yes, some big holes in that cylinder. I bet these 45 Colt rounds will fit. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep. Heritage Rough Rider Big Bore. 45 Colt clone. Didn't even know they made these in big bore until recently. Now I have one in my hand. Let's take a shot with it. Let's just start out and go big on a clay pot. All right, see if it'll smoke pots, just like the Wild West. Not bad, not bad. I bet it'll even kill 2 liters. Oh, thank you. Now I'm drenched. Oh, it's okay, we'll just stick with it. How about a cowboy? All right, right in the belly button. Click. Yes, Heritage Rough Rider Big Bore. They do come in big bore, as you see. 45 Colt. Let's empty those out with the ejector rod. Big old pieces of brass. Gotta love it, don't you? This is one interesting little firearm because it's relatively inexpensive. I think around 400 bucks. And it's a clone of the Wild West, the Peacemaker. Okay, there are a lot of them out there. A lot of people make them, no doubt about it. And I'll let you know what I like or don't like about this one. Let's just go ahead and fire a couple old 250 grain lead bullets. Okay, got an old El Paso saddlery cross draw there that I use a lot. And let's just pull it out and shoot the coffin. Yeah, like that. He shot 5. Oh, it's got a good feel. Pretty good feel, I'll have to say. You know, I like these firearms. And I've shot a lot of different kinds. So I have some opinions about what I like, what I don't like. Now, as far as durability, I have never really worn any of these out. I've had Ubertis, I own a Uberti now, Cattleman, and they all seem to work. So, you know, with an original Colt clone or Colt, you have the old-fashioned springs and all those kinds of things. So you can occasionally break a spring. I've not had much experience with them breaking, or with the clones, sometimes you can. But they hold up pretty well. So I don't have a lot I can tell you about durability of the clones versus Colt and a lot of the different ones. I take care of my firearms and they just seem to work fine. The only one I did have a broken trigger spring on that I can remember was Uberti Cattleman, you know, and it seems extremely well made. But some of those you just need to keep some extra springs around in case, especially if you compete a lot and you know you need to have it up back in action. Now this one is kind of a clone, but it does have the transfer bar like the Ruger does, and it has a frame mounted firing pin. So maybe it's not a true Colt clone in that sense, but it's very close. Okay, other than that, I don't notice a lot of difference. Okay. So it's a Heritage, you know, Rough Rider Big Bore. It's kind of a combination production deal there. You know, Pieta of Italy and then Heritage in the United States. Okay, so be aware of that. But for $400, you've got a clone, kind of a clone of the Colt, and so you know it might be something that would be interesting to you. The only negative, the big negative I have discovered for me is the trigger guard. The trigger guard is a little small, I guess. It's just smaller, or the trigger is further forward is the thing that I notice the most. And I stick my finger in there, it barely fits in there between the front of the trigger guard and the trigger. It's like kind of in the way a little bit. So it's a little bit of a nuisance, but not a big deal. Once you get it cocked, then it's not a problem. But it's a little different. I do notice that. I like the fact that it has single one-piece grips. okay, like a lot of the old Colts used to have. That's kind of neat. You can still make them that way. I really wish all my Colts had single piece grips. I like that. Yet we don't have the screw, to tighten down and everything. So pretty neat. All right, so it's 45 Colt. It comes in, I think, 357 Magnum, 4440, and it comes in the typical Colt barrel lengths, as I understand, 4 3/4, 5.5, and 7.5. Comes in nickel, stainless, blue, color case hardening. See, a lot of different options, just like you do with the Colts. So there you go, for a whole lot less money. Just depends on what you're looking for. For a lot of people, this isn't their favorite firearm maybe, but they wouldn't mind having a copy of a single action, just to plink around with. And got a little bit of cowboy in you. So one of these copies or one of these clones is just what the doctor ordered, okay? So let's shoot it again here a couple times, all right? You don't have to twist my arm to shoot 45 Colt. Now it's got the transfer bar and everything, but I'm still gonna load 5. It's just a habit, so I stick with it. You could obviously load 6 and be pretty safe, or into range especially, but I just stay in that habit of loading 5. All right. If I was going into a gunfight, I might deviate from that. Let's go attack some 2-liters down here. I'm gonna put it in my holster. There we go. All right, who wants it? There's a cowboy that needs to be shot right there. Let's try a 2-liter. All right. Here, I thought I needed to move up close. Maybe I didn't. The sights aren't bad. Let's try the gong. Left. Yeah, elevation was good. Let's go back and load it. Elevation was good that time, but I was to the left, okay? I've discovered over the years, as I pointed out to y'all before, I mainly, when I have problem hitting, it's just one of 2 things. I've got it narrowed down to 2 things, elevation or windage. So if I can just master those 2 problems, I could be the best shooter around.